Good morning. Hi everybody, it is me, the 10 a.m. MilayaPanya, and I am very tired. I missed half of my alarm clocks, but I am here, and that's all that counts. I have a terrible headache. But doesn't matter. I have my morning coffee. I hope you guys do as well. Let's get this started. Okay. Welcome to our first ever Japanese mornings. Now, this is a new series I'm starting where I'm gonna teach you guys, aka we are going to learn together Japanese. Now, please keep in mind that, wait, I'm actually gonna go over this step by step. But let me put something into the chat very quickly. T, if you're here, could you please pin this? Thank you very much. Okay, so basically we're gonna start the whole series today. We are going to do this 4 times a week in the morning at 10 a.m. German time, which is around 4 a.m. EST. I know, I'm so sorry, Americans, but it is all getting recorded as well, so you can rewatch it for around 2 weeks on Twitch, but also the entire time on YouTube. Don't worry about it. If you can make it, I'm seeing that some people made it and I'm really, really happy. I thought everyone's gonna cry because the times are so unusual. But yeah, I'm gonna learn something or watching you learn something. No, you are gonna learn something today because I know quite a bit of Japanese. Especially today we're gonna cover the Hiragana part actually. I'm gonna teach you. We're gonna do each of these sessions for 60 to 90 minutes depending on how fast we progress. Here are a few books that we are going to use. So we won't use them this week, but starting next week, we'll use the Minano Nihongo #1. There are 2 different ones. There's the grammar and translation book, and there's the exercise book. Yeah, the exercise book you're probably gonna have to do on your own time, but we do actually have... Wait, I'm not gonna spoil this in a second. And we are also gonna cover the basic kanji book, volume 1. So if you could get these books, they're also all available secondhand. I know this because I chose specifically books that students also have to learn from. So I'm assuming that a lot of them would be available in local libraries or secondhand on like sites like eBay. Important, very, very important. Please note, this very, very important. I am neither teacher nor is Japanese my mother tongue, okay? No, I'm German and I am learning Japanese. I want to know the language, that's why I'm learning it. And I am offering this so that I can give you kind of a little start into learning it. And so that we are also able to learn together and able to support each other. Because I think that's what I struggle with the most, that I have to do it by myself all the time. Yeah, free classes. But again, not from a teacher. So that, yeah, you please have to keep in mind. If you hear something in the background, that's my cat. The schedule is gonna be that we are gonna do this Monday and Tuesday. We cover 1 chapter. Then Wednesday would be a break, aka self-study. Thursday and Friday, 1 chapter. Saturday and Sunday is break and self-study. Self-study is actually quite important. Please do not underestimate that. The structure per chapter is that on the first day, so let's say Monday, we're gonna learn the vocabulary and the kanji together. We kind of build ourselves some bridges, see how we're gonna remember them very easily. And then on the second day, we're gonna go through the grammar and then practice it together. This way we already know a few of the vocabulary and can use them in our exercises. However, if material does become very challenging, we are gonna slow it down to only 1 chapter per week. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. What you will need. You definitely need the 3 books listed above, but also a pen and paper or iPad tablet, depending on what you like to use to write on, because writing is important. Then we will have motivation, dedication, I hope, because that's kind of necessary. And note, please, also break days are not off days. Important, because otherwise this doesn't work. So Wednesday and weekends, you really need to go through the vocabulary again, use some grammar exercises, do with the second book. Just, you know, practice with the workbook and catch up if needed. Important is the consistent review, please. But I think I'm saying this, but you should probably all know anyway. And now the important cool thing, community and support. We are actually having a new Japanese learning channel on my Discord server, which means that yes, we can ask each other questions, we can explain things to each other, we can learn together. Like on the weekend, for example, if you just wanna hop on and practice a little bit with somebody else, this is possible. There's a voice channel for it, there's also a text channel for it. Use as much as you want. Asking questions, helping, practicing, all that kind of stuff. However, there are also a lot of apps that you can use. For example, Anki. I personally really like this one. Anki is for vocabulary practice. Then we have Bunpro is very famous as well. It does cost a little bit of money, the Bunpro one. But it is for grammar and it's pretty useful, I'm not gonna lie. We also have things like Memrise, Migaku. There's so many. These ones, Memrise, I don't think I have used, but the other 3 I am using myself, and I think they're pretty good. Then first days is today, of course. We are going to learn Hiragana! Let's go! I was gonna do the second day tomorrow. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, I have to push this to Wednesday. Hi, thank you so much for the follow, Burrito Supreme 64. So the second lesson is gonna be on Wednesday. Only this week, usually it will be on Tuesday. And then I don't think I can write. This should be Thursday. So Thursday, we're gonna do katakana, and Friday also katakana. And then the week after, we're gonna start with chapter 1. Before starting with chapter 1, maybe if you do have some time on the weekend, you could look at the vocabulary list beforehand. If you have time. Yeah. That will be it to the structure. Are there any questions for the structure? If not, we can start. So I think my cat just meowed. What do you want? Do you need me? Did you lose your toy again? Oh, you want belly rubs. Okay. Oh, baby. No biting. Okay. Quickly. Yes, T. Ask away. Ask me all the questions. By the way, do you guys like the music? It's it's Animal Crossing Brewster. We're basically all studying together in a coffee shop. I thought that's kind of cute. He will ask for permission to go to the restroom if you like. Oh no! Do I have a hall pass to give out though? Thank you, AMR 617 for the follow. The message should pop up soon. Sometimes it's struggling. There's a lack of Mercadesa content in the proposal you showed us. When can we expect it? I think that is extracurricular. But honestly, for this naughty question, because honestly, that is just horrendous. You should stand in the hallway with a bucket of water on your head and each filled bottle bucket of water in one of your hands too for the struggle. You naughty children get the punishment. Actually, you know what? I don't have buckets of water, but you know what you can do? You can sit. No, not even sit. Not sit. You can stand in the corner and think about what you just asked me. Yeah. Stand in the corner. With your back to us, I don't want to see your face anymore. Thank you for the YouTube sub. When I was 6, me and my cousin put a plant and we didn't have water, so we peed on it. I'm confused that it didn't grow. Okay, but you know what? I'm also confused why it didn't grow, because that is water and nutrients. That should grow, right? I'm confused too, so you're not the only one. But this ain't a biology class. Okay. I'm gonna stop watching something with you guys. Let me see if this is set up properly. Okay. Anpan, do you wanna watch the video? Okay, we're gonna watch this together. This is by Bunny. I'm gonna send in a few songs later on. These are gonna help you remember the hiragana! Yay! Hi, Fluffers, good morning. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's go. It doesn't seem to work. Wait. The audio was not on. Oopsie. Now.
Cue music. In today's lesson, we'll go over every...
Is the audio... Oh, wait, there may be... Wait, let me quickly... Let's turn off the rooster. Now it should work. Okay.
Single hiragana. It's really easy to learn. Let's do it together. Let's begin. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ya, you, yo.
Yo.
Ya, you, yo. La, job! よくできたね. See, wasn't it so easy? Practice this a few more times and you'll be a lot more comfortable with your reading and pronunciation skills.
Exactly. Did you guys go over it? Did you practice? We're gonna redo it at the end of today too. This is by Cyber Bunny. I'm gonna send in the link later on so that you can watch it in your free time too. It's such a banger, right? It is actually not that difficult. Hiragana is super easy. Katakana is gonna be a struggle. I am still struggling with it, but we can do it together. Surely. Now. Boom! Oh my goodness. That is so much, isn't it? Don't worry. We are gonna go over it one by one. Ampan, could you stop destroying things? Thank you. The pronunciation is similar to Spanish. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's good for you, maybe, right? If you know Spanish. Let me put some coffee in my little cup. Za. And put on my glove so we can properly write. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so we are gonna start. Does anyone here actually know some Japanese? Maybe you already know the hiragana. They're actually relatively easy. So, at the beginning, we have the typical a, I, u, e, o. A, I, u, e, o. But we have them in all the languages. In German, this is also a huge thing. Look, like, first of all, let's just read them in normal, right? Like a, I, u, e, o. These ones are basically used together and alone with the ones on the top. Except for this one. This one is special. this is the special one. But it's also the easiest one, so don't worry about it. But yeah, it's basically like a diagram. Do you see this? Diagram? Excel? Yeah, it's an Excel sheet. It's quite easy. So basically, what we will do, right, is we learn the a, I, o, e, o by itself, because we can use them by themselves, right? They can stand alone. And then we're always gonna just combine them. A and K, A and S, I and T, but the ones at the top always come first, and then the ones at the side, okay? Okay, let me clean this up a little bit. So basically, we have a, I, u, e, o. And then we have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. This is because we combine the K with the A, and then with the E, and then with the U, and then with the E, and then with the O. We're gonna practice how to write them in a second, but this is important to understand. Right? So we have that completely for K, S, T. Here, K, S, T. We have it for N, we have it for H, M, and then we have only 3 for Y, only ya, you, and yo. Then for R, we have the entire again. For W, we only have wa and o. By the way, while it does look like o should be pronounced with W and O, it's actually only pronounced as an O. So the W is silent. So I don't know why they even write it there, but yeah, it's silent. And then we have the N. The N looks like an H. If you write normally in our letters, then it would spell an H, right? But it's an N. And don't forget, if you do write it like an H, you always have to do the little wee at the end. Otherwise, it's quite easy since it's just an H. Easy to remember, right? And then we have a few combinations though. But what we just went through is the basic, okay? This is just the basic. this is the easiest, okay? And all of the combinations are completely relying on this. Okay, so let's just go through them one time. We have a, I, u, e, o over here. Then we have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ampan, could you stop? Thank you. Then we have sa, shi, su, se, so. Yeah, this is a she. Okay, it's not si. Because C is kind of, that's Spanish, okay? We don't learn Spanish, we learn Japanese. So it's she. Then we have ta, chi, su, te, to. Now you might be a little confused here because, okay, Ampan, this is annoying. I know that you want to play with the pen, but you're not allowed to. Okay, so we have the chi, right? Maybe, that's a little difficult. But remember that we have the she, and she plus T, if you want to pronounce it, it always sounds like a chi. So it's not difficult. And then T and U could be two, but two is kind of weird, right? Like Japanese don't say two, they say su. So you have to add an S. But that's basically just combining the T with the su. So it's just su. That is a little difficult maybe at the beginning, but you're gonna get used to it very easily. And then the rest is again normal. Te, to. So these three are a little bit more special, but you will get used to them very easily. Don't worry about it. Just go over the songs a few times and boom, you will know it. 751 Duolingo Strike? Holy shit, Dormit, that's a lot. Damn. Good evening, geeks. For me, it's morning, actually. Japanese is much easier than Chinese. As long as we talk about the romaji, and the hiragana and the katakana. Otherwise, we will also use the kanji that is used in Chinese, but we have them differently in the Japanese language. But that's for later. We will start with that next week. Don't worry. Okay. Then we have na, ni, nu, ne, no. Very normal again, which is nice. Then we have ha, he, hu, he, ho. Except it's not who, it's fu. Oh no! It's another special one. And you cannot see here. For me personally, I think it looks like a lowercase f in our letters. So for me, this was always very easy to remember. But yeah, it's not who, it's fu. Sometimes in the songs you will hear them say who, but it's pronounced fu actually. With an F. But yeah, to me it like looks like it's lowercase f. Look. That's an F. That's how I remember it. So if you have any tips and tricks, let us know. And then we have ma, mi, mu, me, mo, which is again completely normal. Then we have ya, you, yo, also pretty easy to remember because it's again just the Y and the A, Y and U, Y and O. And you have two that you don't have to learn. Yeah, that's good. Then we have da, ri, do, re, do. Here the pronunciation is difficult. See, it's not an R, okay? A lot of people like to roll their R's. You do not pronounce an R. So I'm gonna teach you once now, but we will go over this multiple times because it takes a long time to be able to pronounce this. And if you are not born in Japanese, you will never be perfect at pronouncing it, as far as I know. So basically, if you pronounce it like an R, is wrong. It's not an R sound. It's not an no, it's wrong. That is Spanish. It's not correct. However, the way that I was taught to remember it is if you try to say an L and an R at the same time. But for me, this didn't work. I struggled a lot with this until my teacher gave me a different trick, and this one works very well for me. I combine D sound plus R sound. Ra. Thank you for the follow, Danny boy. So, for me, the sounds like that. It's like D plus R. Like you're making your tongue say both letters at the same time. So for me, it's ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Because I say with the D. And that sounds pretty good. But some people have an easier time with an L plus R sound. So you're gonna have to see what is best for you, what works for you. I think it also may depend on one hand, your mother tongue, but on the other hand, probably also your tongue. If you have like speech I don't know what it's called. But if you have something like this, maybe you're gonna have to, experiment what works best. Impediments, yeah. Hi, money boy. Yeah. And then, again, it's difficult to pronounce. We're gonna go with it so often. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it, okay? And then we have the wa and the o. Again, it's an o. It's an o sound, not wo. We are not asking in German, wo. No, we're not asking where something is in German. We're not gonna do that. Okay, wo is German for where. This is an o. But you will often see it written with a W, but it's a silent one. I don't know why they put it there. Okay, don't ask me. It's not my fault. And then we have the N, which is basically an H with a wee. And it's just pronounced n. Because a lot of words end in N. Pronouncing's the only easy thing about Japanese. Not if you want to pronounce it correctly. That's actually kind of tough. They also have tonations, kind of like in Chinese. Like sometimes in Japanese, if you have a word and it has two word parts, sometimes you have to go from deep to high and sometimes from high to low, and the same word will mean two different things. But because it is high context language, you should usually be fine anyway. It's not as important as in Chinese. You're not gonna tell somebody that you wanna F their daughter instead of saying, "Can I have a bag, please?" However, it's easy to misunderstand if you pronounce incorrectly. But again, it's high context, so it should be fine. Ohaya. Ani no ni-chan. Okay. So, now we have some combinations. We're gonna start with these ones. They're pretty easy, okay? So basically, we combined the upper ones over here with these ones, right? Yeah. Now, we are going to combine these combinations that we have together with ya, you, yo. Because, it was kind of obvious that these are going to be special, right? Because they're separate. So, we have a few combinations. Here we have ya, then we have you, and then we have yo, okay? It's like these three. And then here we have ki, shi, chi, ni, he, and mi. So it is basically only these ones. Plus 3, because it's over here. Okay? So you only have to remember this E combination together with the Y combination. And in this case, the Y combination would then always be written small. So basically, we are learning sounds like nya, like the kitty makes nya, nya. Japanese cat sound, nya. That kind of sounds. And then if you combine them, the ya, you will always be written smaller. So we have, let me quickly take this away. We have kya, kyu, kyo. We have sha, shu, sho. Because remember, the SI sound is a she. And we also remember that the TI sound is a chi. So we have cha, chu, and cho. Then we have nya, nyu, nyo. Ya, shu, sho. Nya, myu, myo. And rya, ryu, ryo. But you probably also realize that, wait, actually, that means that we have to learn how to write these ones, and then the other ones we just need to learn how to read, right? Exactly. Hi, Pink and Stitch Lover. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Dorma. Bye-bye. Hope you have a great day. So, these are the ones we have to learn to write. And these ones are basically just for reading, honestly. But we have a few more. We also have the 10-10. Actually, I have to quickly see if maybe I can make this a little smaller so that you can actually see these. Because I'm a little bit in the way. Can I push them? No. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna make it a little. It's a little bit too small. Okay. Well, we will figure it out. So as you can see over here, we have another special case. Osaka's great. Hard to not have a good time. Oh, you're in Osaka. Okay, that's cool. I personally actually didn't like Osaka that much. I really like Kyoto and Nara though. Nara is so beautiful. You have to go to Nara. You probably already have been, but if you're not, go to Nara. It's the deer village that is close by to Osaka. It's like in the middle of... Well, it's kind of like a triangle, I think. Kyoto, Osaka, and Nara. But you should go. It's really good. Can you teach me how to say I like humanity? I mean, you can say the usual, daisuki. Japanese people don't say that much, so it means a lot. Ohayou gozaimasu. Genki desu ka? Hi, genki desu. Ohayou. How are you doing, Dutch? I have a question. Should we practice how to write the symbols to memorize them? It's a specific way we have to write the symbols, and we should wait to write them. Wait to write them. I'm gonna write them with you. But I would like to go over the... Oh, actually, just over everything once so that you understand how everything works, and then we will practice writing. We have the dakuten and the handakuten. My sensei always, because I took a language class, and that sensei always said 10-10. Because this is 10-10. That's the dakuten officially. And then we have the handakuten. So this is basically easy, right? Because it's kind of like when you say hi and like marks, right? It's the same, but it's like to the other direction. The quotation marks, is that what it's called? And then the handakuten is just a little circle. Easy. And basically, you can put them onto K, S, T, and H. So on these 4, you can put dakuten and handakuten. Well, not quite, because handakuten is actually only for H. So while dakuten can be on K, S, T, and H, handakuten can only be on H. And it changes the sound. So for K with tenten, so we have the ka, and then this is like ka, right? It's this one. But then we put the dakuten on top of it, and then it's ga, because the K becomes the G. We basically soften the sound. For S,
emotional damage.
for sa, we then have the Z sound, za. Then we have the, I'm writing too big, sorry. The ta becomes da, so T becomes D. And then, by the way, these things, I'm just gonna go over them, but you're gonna learn them in no time just by learning vocabulary. Don't worry about it too much. But I want you to understand it. And then technically we have H, right? And we can have H with tenten, or we can have H with han takuten. So what does this do? So if you think about the H in our letters, if you want to soften it, that's not really possible. So you make it into a B. Oh, goodness, Panya, how am I going to remember that's supposed to be a B? Very easily. You just close it. Now it's a B. It's really easy, right? Because you have an H. What to do? Oh no! Close it. Why is it open like that, huh? No, close the legs. We have to close the legs, okay? And then it's a B. And then we have ba. Ba, like a sheep. Or, if we have the handakuten, it's a P. Why is that a P all of a sudden? Well, it's a B, okay? The P is pretty much obvious. You just turn this one to the other side. And then you have P. B, P, makes sense, right? And then we have pa. Inky for the cake. I do need breakfast, oh my goodness. And then basically, yeah. That's it. So I'm going to go over them very quickly. We have the G ones. Ga, gi, gu, ge, go. And we have Z, za, G. What? Exactly. Another one of those. She's always a little special, you know? But it makes sense because you can't really put she into a Z because we have it as a sh sound, right? So it will become a G. We have zu. Oh, wait, it's not special, so zu, ze, zo. Then we have da. This is also kind of pretty much a G sound. But yeah, I don't even know. Have I seen this one? I think I've seen this one before. It's not really used much, I think. Then we have zu, because TSU was used earlier for tsu. But how the fuck do you make a Z from that? You just do it. You just do it. Ignore the ts. Just make it a z. Yeah. Then we have de, do. And then with the H ones, we have on one hand ba, bi, bu, be, bo. But we also have pa, pi, pu, pe, pa. Pop, pop. No, when I sing the song. But yeah, so there's only like, these are kind of special, but that's it. But again, you will be able to remember them very easily after learning a little bit of vocabulary. So don't worry about it. And the writing is again just this and this on top of the letter. And then, technically, we can also combine these two. Right? So then we're gonna combine it for the key sound, for the C, for the chi, and for the H. Because there's no N over here, right? N? No, it's not there. So we can't do it for that. Also not for the me or the. It's not really a thing, right? It's because it's not in this list. If it's not in this list, you can't combine it. Relatively easy. And so if you combine this, you will get this. So we have gya, like gyaru. The gyaru sound. Gya, gyu, gyo, ja, ju, jo. Cha, kinda. Then it's like ja. It's really difficult for me to pronounce, to be honest. If it's a chi, but it's like the ductin. I've struggled with that, to be honest. Then we also have bya, byu, byo, and we have pya, pyu, pyo. And that is basically the entire hiragana with everything. And now we need to learn how to write it, which we're gonna start now. If it's going to... Haha! Hey, let's see how far we will come today. But basically, we have went through all of them. Let me go back here while I drink coffee. We have learned the entire hiragana alphabet and understood the combinations. Again, the combinations will come to you very, very easily when learning the vocabulary. So don't worry about it too much, but you need to have heard it once to be able to understand later on when you see it. And then learning to write, we are going to do the basic hiragana now. There is a correct way of spelling them, by the way, with everything Japanese. All the kanji, everything, there's a very specific way on how you're supposed to write it. Now, since we're all foreigners, it technically isn't that big of an issue if you write it in a wrong order. However, if a Japanese person catches you doing that, they may cry. So we don't want to make the Japanese cry. We want to learn it properly. Ready? That is ready. Katakanaだとさらに良くなります。Oh, that's good. Alright. Did I miss anything else that you said? Maybe you shouldn't use too much kanji yet, because the other people may not understand you at the moment, because we just started. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Some people think that, you know, it's too much already. I don't want to overload you too much. Especially at the beginning, because I feel like it looks very overwhelming. It's not. It's not difficult. At least at the beginning. Later on it will be a bit difficult, but all languages are. But it's actually not too difficult. And the beginning is rather easy. However, it is very overwhelming. So. Yeah, it's difficult. That's why I'm saying, wait, Dutch, if, I don't know if you were here earlier. If you have the R sounds, do not pronounce it as R. Pronounce it either as L plus R at the same time with your tongue. Or, for me, this didn't work, but for me, it worked D plus R. Da. Da. Darerurero. You just have to make your tongue do 2 letters at the same time. And that's basically fine. It takes practice. A lot of people struggle with this a lot, but I think a lot of people I think most people struggle with it because they learn the L plus R, which is taught a lot. But for me, only D plus R worked. So if you know this one, then make it a little easier for you. Is that a good way of memorizing? I'm halfway through Hiragana and keep forgetting some letters. Honestly, just learn the vocabulary. Because I think learning them as is a little bit difficult because you don't have any words for it. But while learning vocabulary, you will encounter these over and over and over again, and you have to write them to write the vocabulary, obviously. And then you kind of learn it naturally. Also, there are really good songs. We're gonna listen to one of the songs again at the end. But yeah. Ryu, Ryu, yeah, that's true. That is a little bit difficult. But it's the closest I can get. I mean, it is a sound that doesn't come natural to people who don't have Japanese as mother tongue, so we have to fake it till we make it, okay? Now that bounces off on you. Ooh. Okay, I see. If that helps you, that's good. I think there are different ways on how to be able to say it, but everybody needs to figure out their own kind of way, I guess. It's really tough. Okay, we're gonna start with A, I, U, E, O. So, as you can see here, and now we can all write together, by the way. If you have a pen and paper or a tablet, let's go and write this together, okay? I will also give you the link to these later on so that you can practice. I will have all the links in my Discord. Let me write this in again. That you can join. I will have it in the Discord, and then you guys can practice. You can also practice together, ask questions again, and so on. So basically the way that we write an A, okay? So we have, oh, maybe I should put this on. First, you move a little mini strike over there. And then you do the top one. Now it looks like a T. Okay. If you have the T ready, you just need to make a wee. Yeah. It sounds complicated, but listen, it's just wee. Just have fun with it. You will start here in this corner. It's difficult to see a little bit, I think. Make it a little bit bigger. So you have the T, and then below the cross, in this corner, you will start. Okay? And then you just go wee. And that's it. So you have the cross first, right? And then wee. And done. And then you can do that for the entire one. Might not look pretty. It's fine. They don't have to be pretty. Okay, maybe they have to be pretty, but I suck. My handwriting is so bad. Like in any language. When I was when I was in school, I was always told that my handwriting is worse than the boys. And I'm like, oh, that's really mean. Because when I went to school, everybody was like, I don't know if it's still a thing, but back then everyone was like, oh, girls have pretty handwriting, boys have ugly handwriting. And then there was me, and everyone was very surprised on how the heck I can write that badly. Well, it is what it is. But this is the relatively easy. Just across and then wee. Wee. You can practice it later on a lot too. Wee. Wee. Okay. You can say the boys have pretty handwriting as well, so no shame in that. Yeah, I guess nowadays. But like when I went to school, I was like, yeah, it's a boy, so he can't write pretty. But it's a girl, so she writes pretty in colors too. And then it was me! And that did not apply to me. I think now it's a little bit different over time, to be honest. You usually write in uppercase, Emma? What? That's interesting. I hate writing uppercase letters. Okay, now let's do the E. So the E is basically just two little ones, okay? You have this one. And remember to go a little bit up, okay? You have to go a little bit up. It's kind of like an arrow, okay? Like if you see it here, you always have to go up a little bit. And then on the other side, you just have to do a pew. That's it. Just up a little bit and then there. Remember, we always go from left to right and from up to down, okay? Left to right, up, down. No matter what we write, left to right, up, down. It also plays to kanji and stuff. It's very important. And then you write it like this. Mine looks ugly, okay? But people can read it. And that's the most important thing, okay? I mean, you should see me write in German. That's worse. So, you know, this is the prettiest I can do. This is... Maybe I should actually do practice writing hiragana more. Oh boy. It's so ugly when I write it. I'm sorry that you have to see this. But at least you all can feel good about your way of writing it. You cannot write as ugly as me. Yeah, it's impossible. Inky, good morning. Yes, I've just started my new series of Japanese mornings. You want to learn hiragana with us? So I need more coffee. Okay. Now, after we have the E, you will learn the U. Remember, up to down. So we have to do the little wheat first, okay? I usually do the other way around because I am slaughtering the Japanese language, apparently. But we have the little wee. It's not even like a drop. Imagine it's like a raindrop. But the raindrop, what is a raindrop dropping on? An umbrella. Wee. There are quite a lot of wees. And then like, I really like that I can just do the wee all the time. It's so nice. Just wee. Raindrop and wee. Raindrop, wee. Raindrop, wee. Raindrop, wee. And that's the U. Ooh. Just woke up and oh, good morning. Get yourself some coffee. Wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee. Raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee. Raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee. Raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee, raindrop, wee. Also, by the way, if you have noticed, you probably have already noticed this. But let me clean this one up. The reason why this has 4 little things, right? It's like it's a box with 4 thingies. Is so that you can see where exactly in the box you're supposed to draw the lines. So the upper one you're all supposed to draw in the middle, upper. And then the we starts here and has to end here. We. And then if you have finished that in the specific things, you kind of have a feeling for it, and then you can use it in these ones. And you should have the gist of it. Yeah. How you write a foo? That will come later. We will have to do them one by one. So do this in order. Otherwise it's confusing. After you finish the you have the e. And e is kind of fun. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. So we have the same we, little one, the raindrop from the Oh, this is so cute. My kitty Anpan. He's bringing his bed over here right now. Okay, I thought he's gonna bring it over here so he can sleep on his bed next to me. But no, he's wrestling his bed. Are you okay, baby? Why do you want to wrestle it? Okay. I mean, you do you. Anpan? Yeah, I called him like the sweet Japanese bread. Okay, so we have the raindrop, right? And then what do we have below the raindrop? We have a Z. Now, what is it called in English? The pretty way of writing letters. In German we call it Schreibschrift. I don't know what it's called in English. Cursive! Thank you, Emma! So it's basically just a cursive Z. Whee! Depending on which kind of cursive you learn, to be honest. There are different kinds of cursive. But this is the way that I learned the Z in cursive. I did not learn the original cursive. I had like a different kind of cursive. That's why my Zs look like this. There are some Zs in cursive that look like Gs. We're not gonna use those ones. We're gonna use the ones that look like Zs. And then I have the we. Again, there's so many we's in this language. It's beautiful. I like writing we's. Z, we. Raindrop, Z, we. Raindrop, Z, we. Raindrop, Z, we. Raindrop, Z, we. And that's it. It's so easy. Yeah, I'm German, Dutch. I am German. I know that my accent doesn't sound like the typical German accent, but I am German. Raindrop, Z, we. Raindrop, Z, we. And that's it for the E. See, the E is the easiest. Okay, well, maybe the U is easier, but you know. Then we have the O. So, the O is easy to confuse with the A, but it's very different. The reason why it's easy to confuse, in my opinion, is because it also has T at the beginning. So we have the first little one, and then we finish the T, right? However, don't stop writing the T, because the we and the T are combined. So you have the T and then we. With the A, it's 2 different strikes, okay? First you do so with the A, it was the cross and then the we. But with the O, we have the cross and the we together. Important, okay? Because that is the difference. Because I struggle with those two. But also I'm stupid, so that might be why. So, we have the T with the we. And then it's not finished yet. We actually have a little tiny raindrop over there. Because otherwise it would look so empty. Like, look at this. Look at that. It's so empty. Like, why is the belly so thick and there's nothing on top of the belly? Ugly. So, we have a little raindrop again. The T with the we, and then a little raindrop. This looks better, right? Instead of just leaving it there. Technically, it's like this. Ugh. My writing sucks, okay? I have mentioned this before, but yeah. This is empty. Raindrop. Never forget the raindrop. I mean, people could probably read it without, but it kind of looks like a cheat if you write it without, you know? We'll show you a cover later. So, don't forget it. So, T with the we and the raindrop. It's relatively easy, look. I also always feel like it looks like a train. I don't know why, but to me it looks like a train. Like a choo-choo train, you know? Ah, yeah, that's true. I am, that is true. I am a little bit covering some stuff. But it's always the same, so don't worry about it. I only write the same one in a row. And that is the first two. A, I, O, E, O. A, I, O, E, O. A, I, O, E, O. T with the we. Yeah, exactly. So that was the number one. And I also would like to do number two with you, and the rest we will do next lesson. Unless you guys already have a headache, then we could also stop here. Thank God you can't see my writing. Is it worse than mine? Because I don't think so. My brain. No, it's I, O, E, O. Not that, no. Are you guys able to do one more? Or should we stop here? Please let me know. Bring it on, okay. This time we do ka, ki, kuke, ko. So for the ka, you see this? We have this first. Now this, I always hate. Because I want to do this one first. But you have to draw the belly first. First comes the belly and then comes the man. First the belly, then the man, okay? And then the we. Well, the raindrop. Okay, so remember though that the belly has a little bit, so the belly is hanging down a bit, okay? You know how like if you have a lot of body fat, your belly hangs down a bit and then goes up again because it's going down, you know, when you like have a lot of fat on the belly. It's like a person with a belly. Let me learn here. This is a person. And then if they have big belly, first we have the pupa, and then we have big belly, and then it goes up, right? That's how fat works. And that's basically why you have to draw the little thingy here, okay? This is how I remember it. So you draw the belly, and then you draw the man, and then you draw the little sweat. This is a very fat person. Yeah. And it's ka because, okay, in German, I remember the way that I remember is that this person's a little fat, so they need to do Kraftsport. They need to do Kraftsport! Which is like building muscle sport in German, and it's up with a K. So I'm like, yeah, this is a K. Kraftsport. What if you don't have booba? If you're a man and you have a lot of fat, you will also have man booba. Don't worry. You will not be spared from the booba. But yeah, that's how you write it. So you have the belly, you have the man, then you have the sweat. Because again, they're doing Kraftsport. I'm telling you, learning Japanese with Panya, it is always fun because I have the weirdest fucking donkey bridges there are. Do you say donkey bridges in English? I wonder. We say donkey bridges. Ah! First the belly, Panya, then the man, then the sweat. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. For Kraftsport! First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. For Kraftsport! Then the... First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. For Kraftsport! I hit something. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. For Kraftsport! First the belly, then the man, then the sweat. For Kraftsport! First the belly, then the man, and the sweat for Kraftsport. Oh, hi, Brenda. Yes, you are late to class, but don't worry, you can rewatch it after. Since are you okay? No. I'm not! First the belly, then the man, then the sweat for Kraftsport. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat for Kraftsport. Also, you have to keep in mind, every single time I say Kraftsport, I put, what is it called? I like put my fist into the air very strongly because I say Kraftsport, so you have to do something that has power, right? That's why I hit something. Anyway, see, now everybody can remember the K. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat for Kraftsport. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat for Kraftsport. And one last time. Sorry. One last time. First the belly, then the man, then the sweat for Kraftsport. Also, they do not look good, but they're readable, okay? I'm sorry that I have the handwriting of a man, okay? Don't judge me. Now, since it's tweaking, yeah. Now we have the key. Key? Panya says how we're gonna remember key. Okay. To be honest, I have no idea why, but I think that key just looks like a key. And that's, I just remembered it. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. Don't ask me, okay? Sometimes I can't explain it. Sometimes things just come naturally to you. But basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna have the little crosses thingy first. What is it called? Like two little lines. We have two little lines. No. We need to cross them, right? And we have to make another cross. So we cross them again, and then it goes up a tiny bit. And now remember, the way that these were written is usually that you would write them with ink and what is it called? Pencil. What is it called in English? Like a broken key. Yeah, you could also look, yeah, that's true. You could look like it's a broken key, because a key would be like this, right? So this is where you're holding it, and this is the key, and this goes into the keyhole. This looks a little bit perverted. Don't mind that. But basically, when you used to write it, you would like what is the word for brush? Thank you, Emma. You would lift up the brush a tiny bit, because technically it is a V. It is a big belly. Because you lift it up, it looks like this. So we have two little lines. We cross them. Then again, we have this one. In German, we call it the Widerhaken. Now I'm teaching you more German than Japanese, Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's a Widerhaken. And then you finish the belly. And then you have a key. Like a key. What the fuck was that? My writing is so shitty. Jesus Christ. Good thing that I'm practicing this with you guys. I really needed that, huh? To be fair, most of the time I write on PC, which I will be changing for writing during the classes with you guys. Because I realized that if you always write on PC, you forget how to write on paper. And I mean, we can all see that, yeah, I am struggling with it a little bit. I'm just not used to writing anymore. My handwriting sucks. Jeez. But yeah, so don't make the mistake that I did and write on PC all the time. Write with your hands. Trilingual class, you never know what you're gonna learn, but you do know that you are gonna learn something. Exactly. The ku is so easy, okay? It's just a ku. Now, do you know how to write a K normally? Normally, you write a K like this, right? This is how you write a K. So you just don't do the first one. You just do this. And then it's a ku. It's that easy. Isn't that beautiful? It's that easy. It's just the second part of a K. It's only this one. That's all that it is. Q is probably the easiest letter. I think it's the easiest. Just like this. Looks like I'm drawing a lot of arrows, actually. And this is the one that I can definitely write perfectly. That's also because it's super fucking easy. Everyone can write this one. Cool. Ta-da! This is the cool. And then we have two more. And then we're finished for today, okay? Hi, thank you so much for the follow, Shura. Now, the K, okay? Do you guys remember the E? You guys remember the E? Write it next to the K. Do it yourself once before I tell you what it was. Maybe you can remember it. If you don't, that's okay. But maybe you can. You need to test yourself. Write the hiragana E for a second. Did you do it? Perfect. Now I will write it too. It looks like this. And now you might think, wait a second, that's a little bit similar. And that's exactly why I made it. So the first one looks very similar, except it's not so rounded. It is straight. So instead of going like this, which is very round, we go in a straight line. We have to stay on the first half, okay? And the first, like, two little boxes on the left side of them. Just stand. But otherwise, it kind of looks like the E. And then you just have to draw a T next to it. Remember, left to right first. So you do the little cross first and then from up to down. That is important. If a Japanese person catches you writing this differently, they're gonna cry. We do not make the Japanese cry. We want to make the Japanese proud of us. Okay, this looks like I'm having a stroke when I write this. Bro. Panya, why do you have such difficulty writing? Go back to freaking primary school. What is wrong with you, girl? It's not that hard, Panya. Everyone else is gonna do it so much better than you, Panya. Well, that's okay. And also, to me, it kind of looks like a graveyard if you draw a lot of kit next to each other. Because there's so many crosses now. And then the last one is actually super easy too. So you remember the E that we had, right? So what are we gonna do? We just spin it around. Look, we had the E like this, and then we just spin it around this way. And then we have the one on the top, and then we have the other one on the bottom. Okay, this looks ugly, but that's basically what it is. However, while we turn it around, we also have to keep in mind that this time, well, the one with the Widerhaken, the little arrow thingy, is a shorter one, okay? Because it's at the top. You can't have the top bigger than the bottom. What's that gonna look like? Nuh-uh. That's not good. We have to have the top smaller than the bottom. Because what if the top falls down? Then it needs to be able to be caught by the bottom, right? Like, imagine the top is so much bigger than the bottom. And then the top falls down onto the bottom, then the bottom is dead. It's buried. It's not good. The bottom needs to be able to catch the top. What's up? だってあなたを飲みたいから。What? What the fuck? Lovers. Oops, that looks ugly. There we go. Oops. Remember when I said this is so freaking easy? And then I struggled writing it? Beautiful. It also kind of looked like an eye. When I draw it, at least. But this is cool. Ta-da! And that will be it for today. And again, sadly tomorrow I can't do, but we will instead do Wednesday. And so we are going to continue on Wednesday with the sa, so the S sounds. Sa, shi, sa, se, sa. But before we end, I want to go over the song one more time with you. Let me put this up. Are you guys ready? Okay, at this time, because you all saw it a few times, I want you to sing the song with, okay? We're gonna sing the song while she is singing the song because it makes it easier to remember. If you are in public, sing it in your head. If you're home and somebody else is also home, close the door. Because then it feels more comfortable, right? So now we are all gonna sing it together. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
In today's lesson, we'll go over every single hiragana.
Thank you, T,
It's
for the
really
gift.
easy to learn. Let's do it together. Let's begin. A,
I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Sa, shi, su, se, so. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. Ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. Hi, hu, he, ho. Ma, mi, me, me, mo. Ma, mi, me, me, mo. Ma, mi, me, me, mo. Ya, you, yo. Ya, you, yo. Ra, ri, ra, re, ra. Ra, ri, ra, re, ra. Ra, ri, ra, re, ra. Wa, o, wa, o,
Good job! よくできたね.
Yeah, good job, guys! Yeah! I am actually gonna send in a few other songs as well into the Discord so that you guys can kind of practice them a little bit. And then next session on Wednesday, 10 a.m., we are going to finish the hiragana. And then Thursday and Friday, we will learn the katakana. Keep on practicing. Maybe if you do have the time and you kind of feel like, why not? You can also already practice writing them. I'm gonna send in the writing practice sheet as well. So all of that you will be able to find in the Discord. Yeah. Thank you everybody for showing up. Actually, I'm super surprised because I think for a lot of you, it's a really bad time. Or at least I thought so, maybe not. That's nice. I'm very happy that so many people were able to make it. And so many new people as well. So sweet. That's so nice. I'm really happy. I thought I'm gonna be here all by myself. So yeah, I'm very happy about this. Thank you all very much for coming. Let's continue practicing together. Not every single day, but you know, every week. At no time we're gonna be super good at Nihongo. Yes. Okay, that will be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. How about we are going to rate somebody? Let me... the music? Do you guys have anyone you want to rate? Someone you want to listen to? I'm gonna see who may be online right now. Do we have any VTubers? I think we do actually have some VTubers. Nice. It is such an ungodly time. I'm so sorry. I don't think there's anyone online I follow. Oh, Iron Mouse is streaming, but we are not going to raid Iron Mouse. Let's see. There are not many people now, at least not shown to me. Is that a panda? Oh, guys, let's write another panda. She pretty. Okay, we're gonna write another panda who's very cutie patootie. And that will be it for today. I hope all of you, and I wish you all very, very much a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, actually. For a stream, yeah, normal time. And then, but only the late stream, not the morning classes. And that we will do on Wednesday again. Okay, then have fun in the next stream, everybody. Bye bye. Thank you very much for learning with me. You did well, guys. You did very, very well, okay? You got this. Bye bye.